Welcome! In this week's basing guide, we will show you how to forge otherworldly blue bases for your miniatures. Start by selecting and arranging some bits. You can use an X-Acto knife or some clippers to remove any excess. Use the miniature itself to help you organize the layout for each base. Glue the bits using cyanoacrylate. Don't worry if they stick out of the bases. After they dry, we'll cut the excess off from the bits. Add earth texture to the whole ground area and let it dry. Make sure to cover the edges of the bits to ensure a realistic transition with the ground. It's also a good idea to clean the border of the bases. Let the earth texture fully dry. Next, water down some PVA glue. Cover the whole earth area, only avoiding the bits themselves. Sprinkle the area with some sand or rock dust. Try varying the amount, creating denser debris near the rocks and crevices. Apply a bit more glue on top to help fix any looser sands. This will also seal all the dusts and textures while improving the overall resistance of the base. Give the glue some time to fully dry. Now they are ready to be primed. Start by spraying a clear blue on the whole base surfaces. Aim for a slightly turquoise blue, avoiding blue tones that are close to purple. Then, only from one angle, apply a pale green color. You will end up with a color effect like this. Prepare your painting tools. We recommend using a wet palette for some of the upcoming steps. Let's paint the rocks using two dark greenish greys. Feel free to mix and blend the colors. You don't need an ultra thick layer in this step. You can apply the paints with a more washed flow. The wet palette will help you to water, mix and blend the paints. Don't forget any tiny or hidden rocks. Once you're done, the rocks should look similar to this. Next, apply a dark blue wash over the whole surface. Make sure to reach every crevice and border with your brush, leaving no dry spots. Once you finish, give the wash some time to dry completely. Now ditch the wet palette. Grab a piece of cardboard for the following Drybrush steps. For this skim, the Drybrush technique will be very important. We start with a dark turquoise blue over the whole surface. The idea is to gradually keep using lighter blues until you reach an almost white Drybrush. For now, focus on drybrushing the whole base surface, highlighting all the details. Start adding bits of white paint, using the cardboard to blend the colors. With each lighter tone, drybrush slightly less of the surface, focusing more and more on the higher parts and the rocks. Finish by picking white paint directly. This time, focus only in the upper parts of the rocks and edges. After all the dry brushes, it will look something like this. Now let's create some line effects on the ground using light colors. Gently press a fine brush in a stippling motion, creating an irregular line on the ground. Do this as much as you like, it's more of an extra way to add some diversity to this alien-like terrain. The next painting step is to add some dry pigments. Use a red pigment to simulate natural iron oxides near the rocks. It will create a nice contrast with the overall blue tone of the scene. Then add some tiny spots of white pigment on the more open areas of the ground. Just some little spots will suffice, you don't want to overdo it. To finish the painting step, let's paint the border with a strong black. Carefully paint the border in a motion parallel to the base. This is arguably the most important step in all the tutorial, since it will make the scene stand out in a whole different way. The bases are ready to receive some alien flora. Let's start by adding some alien grass tufts. For a more solid fix, you can use PVA glue. The dark alien void tufts work very well to create contrast. Look to each base and think of which areas you would like to place them. You can also use your miniatures to help you in this. Try to define some areas to create clusters of each tuft type, instead of placing them in a random spot. Next, place some alien frost tufts. Their bright color will bring a nice look to the scene. Once again, define some areas to place them. Pick some blue alien fern laser plants for the last step. You can check the channel for the tutorials on how to bend and use our laser plants range. To glue the laser plants, we also prefer to use cyanocrylate. It allows them to quickly stay in place. Using tweezers can also help. Create some fern groups by gradually stacking the leaves. You can also glue some smaller leaves near the edge to simulate a realistic transition. And they're done! Thank you for watching, and see you at our next video.